So one of the most powerful tools, probably the most powerful tool that I could share with you is called PERRLA. And it's a program you can get off of the internet, download it onto your computer. I think it's about 35 bucks for a lifetime subscription. And this is going to make your paper writing so much easier and faster. And I'll share with you why. Your professors are going to want you to type in certain types of format, usually APA or MLA, and those have specific requirements for font size, spacing, margins, title pages, all this stuff, and how the references are created. And that's a lot of work to try to filter through, and this tool will help you. It just does it all automatically, and it walks you through all the steps, and it also holds all your references that you've done in the past, so that when you use something you've used in the past, you just click on it and everything blows right in. So I'm going to share with you how this works and what it is. It's called an add-in. It's used within the Word program. And so when you launch it, it launches Word, and it will pop up inside there, inside the Word document. So you'll see here, right here is Launch PERRLA. This tutorial I think is going to help you a lot, and if you want more, you can get on YouTube and find a lot of other demonstrations on this and how to use them. So here we go. Since I got a lifetime membership, it will automatically update. There's changes in the rules. Everything stays up to date. And you pay a separate subscription for, I'm not going to update right now, a separate subscription for MLA. See, start a new MLA paper, but I do APA format for American Sentinel. So this pops up, and I just click on Start New, and I want to title this. Now, if I'm going to do a full paper, I'm going to add the teacher, course name, number, date, all that stuff. But if I am doing a post, let's say, I'm not going to write the post in, in the actual document on the website. I actually type it in PERRLA so that it can create all my in-text citations and references, and then I just copy and paste. And that also creates a copy for me that I can organize, and that's in a separate tutorial. So let's say it's discussion to Tina Jones, and this is a response. Let's say just discussion 2. Okay. And so I just start the paper. And so you'll find that Word pops up. Isn't that interesting? Well, if you'll notice as it's popping up, there's going to be a little thing right here. It'll say, I can't remember, I think it says add-ins. Yep. And so this isn't in Word normally if you just pull up Word. This little tool here is PERRLA, living in Word. And so for this document, for this tutorial, I'm not going to have my 2 screens because it's a lot easier to see how this all works, because it's all on one screen. But know that while I'm doing this, I'm using my other screen. There is what I have over there, and so that I can be copying and pasting from the different websites that I'm using. So let's say I'm typing something, and I come along and I'm ready for a reference. And so this here, create citation, that's what I click on. Now, since I've been doing this for 2 years plus, I have collected a ton of references, and when I create a reference, all the information's there in the proper way, so I don't have to type everything back in. But I have to remember what it is that I, where I got it, what it was called, so that I can find it. So, if you look through here, literally hundreds and hundreds. So a lot of these I won't ever use again because I won't remember them. But, there may be certain articles that I found that I see, and let's say I remember a keyword, then I can just search for that keyword. Let's say I have my textbook that I use fairly frequently for that class or a previous class. Then I can look it up by keywords, and there's Hauser. See, then it just quickly grabs just anything that has this what you've typed in. And so this is where I'm actually using a reference that I've used before, and this is a very powerful part of PERRLA. And so I'm going to click on here, and it's going to select it. So I pulled it out of my my previous references and brings it to the front, where I'm going to collect additional. This is what's going to be on the title, on the reference page. So let's say I found another one. So for instance, let's see if I can find something on there. Harkness, DeMargo. So then I double click, and see, now I have two references there. And if you'll notice, check this out. My reference page is being created. So far I've done no work except look up two different references that I've already used. Everything's in here, right? How awesome is that? Sometimes I'll use 15, 16 references. I wouldn't want to have to type all this out and remember how everything's formatted. One of the things that the professors look for is their proper formatting. They get picky on that. I never have issues because I use this and it's very simple. So let's say now I'm typing and I want to put what we call an in-text citation, which is the information that was needed, that referenced this material. And so I again click on create citation. These are the ones that I've used. So I'm going to pick one, double click, and this box pops up. And let's say it's a quote, and I would put the page number or the paragraph number. If it was on a website, it was the third paragraph down. I just hit 3 under paragraph number, and boom, automatically just created my in-text citation. That's all it took. Not a bunch of time and typing. Let's say I want another in-text citation. I'm typing something else, and okay. Now I want to use Hauser, and I select it, but now it's not a quote. It's just information, and you want to use as few quotes. I'm going to give you this advice. Use as few quotes as possible. Reword everything you can. Occasionally use a quote to make a strong point, but if you quote everything, they're not going to like it. So not a direct quote. Watch this. Boom. That's all it took. It didn't give me a page number, paragraph number. That's all it needed. And then I just, do a period, space, and keep on typing. If you do use quotes, remember that you use your quotation mark outside. Okay, so let's look here. We're going to I'm going to create a new citation. Okay, so this is so I go to new. So I've done create citation. I do new. Now these are the most common, and then you can go to different ones, different reference types. Like here you go, standalone website, Don't ever use Wikipedia. I'm going to tell you about references. There's going to be some sites. They say scholarly references. My professors always, this has been my experience, just to let you know, if you use government websites, for instance, is healthypeople.gov, that is typically always been considered for me a scholarly reference because it's from an authoritative source. This is a government website, .gov. CDC, World Health Organization, use those. When you do research, use the CDC. Let's see. World Health Organization statistics on poverty. I was on images, so I clicked on all. See, I'm using that speaker. It makes it quicker. So here you go, poverty and health. And this is the World Health Organization. That's going to be scholarly. So World Health Organization, CDC are big deals. Your book is often a big deal. You can get all kinds of magazines. Major magazines that would be scholarly because they're going to be peer-reviewed, and they're all over Google. I have found that if I use the website, the search engine from the college, it's not nearly as effective. You may find otherwise. I don't know why it's not popping up, but anyway. Google, I'll be honest with you, I had something I was struggling with. I got on with this professor on the phone, and I highly recommend that you talk with your professors. They're grateful that you call. It's always been my experience. They're always willing to talk to you. And anyway, she was helping me out, and she's like, okay, well, let me help you look through here. And we're looking and looking through the college website trying to find this certain material, and she used every trick in the book, couldn't find anything of any value. When I hung up with her, I clicked on Google, did the same search, and found tons of articles immediately. So I would say, from my experience after getting my bachelor's, that it is definitely, Google is going to be your main resource, and you can find tons of stuff. Here you go, World Bank. That's going to be a big one. So these are all great resources for you. So the American Diabetes Association. So this is a little of a tangent, but it is talking about references, and I think that it's very helpful. So let's say I'm going to use this, I'm going to bring it over to my other screen, I'm going to pull some stuff off of it. So I'm going to share with you how I do that. So this is most common. So this site, oh darn it, it just popped up, couldn't show you. Anyway, so this site is not going to have page numbers. A lot of these sites do not have authors. It does, here it is, 2018, you have a date, that's good. So a lot of these are very simple. And so I'm going to bring it over again and copy and paste some of this stuff and show you how easy it is. So it's going to be an article in a standalone website, and this has no author. So I click on it, bring it up. What's the title of this? I highlight, copy. See, I highlighted this and copy, and then I'm going to highlight here, and I can't paste here the way I normally would. It's Control V. Really weird. It should be Control C, right? For P for paste. Now, one thing too to remember, I got burned one time with this, and that was it. And it says it right here, and I completely missed it. capitalize only the first word of the title of the article, if any, and proper pronoun or proper nouns. If there is a colon, then the next word is going to be capitalized. So angina pectoris, it's going to have to be it's lowercase p, and stable angina is going to be lowercase as well. But this is just demonstration. But anyhow, PERRLA, everything, it just tells you what to do. How to perform it. Gives you advice here. Next, title for the citation. Because there is no author, it's asking you for title for the citation, because in-text citation is going to require some kind of reference to that reference. And so I'm going to call it angina, because that's the first word in that article. And let's say there was another one that said angina. Well, you may use another keyword that identifies that particular article. Year, remember, was 2018. Is this the final version? I always say yes. I don't have any reference to the fact that this isn't the final version. And then what's the internet or URL address? So watch this. I left click, it all turns blue. Right click, copy. Right? Check this out. Control V. Done. Hit finish. And wait. Now what it's done is it has added it to this reference page. It reorganized it alphabetically. Push this down, and it's now the top one. It'll insert it wherever it belongs. And look at all this. I would have had to type all that out. I copied and pasted. And now out of that article, it's not going to be a direct quote. Or let's say it is. Then I put the page number, or in this case there were no pages. I just do the paragraph number. But it's not going to be a direct quote. Angina. See, remember I said I didn't have an author, so it asked for that keyword. That's what I used. And so that references, that word angina references this here. And so they're able to find out where that was from. Now here's a cool thing too. Let's say you found another article, let's say another paper you remembered. You can go back and highlight this, copy, and you remembered this particular article, and you remember there was something important in it you might be able to use. Paste, enter, and guess what I'm going to find? It's going to go right to that article that I used last year. So that's kind of cool too. So lots of little tricks here with PERRLA. Highly recommend it. Don't go without it. It'll make your life a lot easier. I'm going to show you here, see if there's anything else to share. Okay, so real quick, this is a discussion that I used that was in one of my classes. I just found it. And so as I'm typing, create this, and it, PERRLA created my references and all that. Some people just type right in, in the box and on the site where they upload it, but all I do is just drag with my left mouse, right click, copy, and then I'm going to paste it right in there. Everything's going to be the way it should be. Your references are going to be done appropriately. So hope you like this tutorial, and I hope you find it helpful. If you have any other questions, again, you can check it out on YouTube, or you can reach out to me.